So as you know, in the previous video we had solved this frame, we had solved the slope deflection equation, we had solved the equilibrium equations, we had determined what are the unknowns, and using those unknowns we had determined the values of end moments. So once you determine the values of end moments, I told you to try to solve the shear force diagram and bending moment diagram of the structure. Okay. Many of you have sent the responses. You have done a very good attempt, but there are small mistakes some of the people have done, so I would like to clarify that with this video. Okay, now first thing is that this is the diagram which is representing all the end moments. Okay, from this diagram we will try to identify what are the reactions that will get developed. Okay, so this is member AB, member CD. As you know, there are no external loads. Because of that, there are no reactions that are developed because of the external loads. Okay, now there are moments that are acting on AB and CD. So on AB we have 23.8 and 9.52, which both are in clockwise direction. So I have written an equation over here. You can see from this I had calculated how much is the RA. So here RA will be is equals to RA into 6 plus of 9.52 plus of 23.8 is equals to 0. RA is equals to minus 5.53. Okay, so if this is minus 5.53, this will be plus 5.53. These are the reactions which are developed from end moments. Now similarly for CD also, the moment are minus 26.68, minus 20.65. Another equation I have written here, which is representing summation of moment at C is equals to 0. So in this case, RD into 6 minus 12.68 minus 20.65 is equals to 0. After solving this, RD is equals to 5.55. Okay, on the other side it will be minus 5.55. Anyway, we will ignore these two values, but just for the sake I have written over there. Okay, now the next member that I have to take is member BC. Member BC is subjected to a point load of 50 kN at 2 meter distance from B, and I will calculate how much is the reaction that is developed only because of the external load. So 50 into 4 divided by 6 will give you how much is the reaction at B. So 50 minus 33.34, which is 50 minus RB, will give you the RC. So it is 16.67. So I have calculated the reactions that are coming from the external loads. Now next thing is to find out the reactions that are developed because of the end moments. So end moments are minus 23.8 and 20.65. So again, you can solve it by the equation. Here it will be 23.8 minus 20.65 divided by 6 will give you the reactions. The reaction are 0.525, and this side will become minus 0.525. Okay, so once you calculate all the reactions, the next step is to determine what are the reactions. Okay, what are the reactions over here? So as you know, this is your VA, HA and MAB. Okay, so MAB we have already determined. We need to determine what is VA and VB. So I hope you all remember how the VA and VD are calculated and HA and HD are calculated. Okay, so we try to assume that whatever the reaction that is developed, net reaction that is developed at B will translate towards this point. Okay, will transfer towards this column as an axial force, and at the end it will create a reaction over here, right? So how much is the reaction that is developed here? 33.34 plus of 0.525 is the reaction that is developed at this point. Okay, so the same reaction will be transferred over here. So this will be 33.865. Now similarly at joint C, the total reactions that we are getting is 16.67 minus of 0.525. So that is the reaction that is developed here, and it will be transferred to support D, which is 16.145. Now as we know, the horizontal reactions are already determined. So this is minus 5.53. So I have changed the direction. If you can see, we consider this side as positive, this side as negative, so that's why I have written HA is equals to minus 5.555. okay, now on the other side, which is plus 5.555, so this is plus 5.55. now you can also try to apply the summation of horizontal force is equals to 0. So in that case, minus 5.55 plus 5.55 is equals to 0. Then it means that we have achieved the equilibrium condition of summation of horizontal force equals to 0, because there are no other horizontal force. These are the only two reactions we have. They are equal and opposite in terms of magnitude, right? Now the next step is that you know the reactions, okay, moment reactions. All the moment reactions are written out there. So in the next case what we do is that we solve the shear force diagram and bending moment diagram. Okay, so I hope in this case shear force diagram is very simple. So at AB, this is minus 5.55, so this will go in this direction and this shear force will continue same till the B point. Okay, in case of D, plus 5.55, this will go in this direction and then it will continue and remain same. Okay, so this is negative shear force, this is positive shear force. Okay, now going to beam member, as we know, the reaction that we have here is 33.865. so this 33.865 will transfer the reaction till the point B, right? So from here it will go in the upward direction, which is 33.865. minus of 50 will give you minus 16, sorry, it is written as plus. So minus 16.145, and this will continue till this point. As we know how much is the reaction at C, the reaction at C is equals to reaction at D, which is 16.145, and this will go in upward direction, it will become 0. So this is the shear force diagram that we have. Okay, next is we will go to bending moment diagram. Okay, some of you have said that we haven't clearly understood what is bending moment diagram. So to make you understand another time what exactly the bending moment diagram is, I would like to take you a simple analytical way of understanding the bending moment diagram. Assume that this is a beam. Okay, so this is a beam. Now we try to identify what kind of moments that have been applied here. Okay, so see here, so if this is a beam, now I am applying a moment at B. This, assume this is B and this is C. Okay, this is B and C. As you know, this is completely elastic. So assuming this to be elastic, I can't do such kind of analytical things, such kind of experimental observations on a rigid structure, right? So that's why I'm showing you some flexible object. So using such flexible objects, I can be able to explain you what is sagging and what is hogging, right? So you try to understand this concept here. So this is minus 23.8 minus, okay, anti-clockwise. This is plus 23.65, this is plus, right? So if I apply a moment like this and this, so see here, if I am applying like this, it will bend like this, right? You can clearly say in which direction I am applying the moment at both the ends. So I'm applying like this, because of that it will create hogging, right? So this will create hogging. Now that's why when I draw the bending moment diagram, only because of these end moments, I will write it as negative bending moment, right? So when we have a load that has been applied, at the top of the load has been applied, it will bend like this, right? It will bend like this. So it means what, it will create sagging. So that's why this triangle is the bending moment diagram that is superimposed because of the external loading. So that's why it is positive, right? So the moments, from the moments that we get is negative bending moment, and from the point load, the bending moment that we get is positive. And then when I superimpose, I chop these corners and I call them as negative bending moment areas, and I call this as positive bending moment area, and this is null and void, this is useless area. Okay, so this you need to understand how I have drawn the bending moment diagram for beam element. Now let us go to column elements, right? Here you need to define yourself what is sagging and what is hogging. Okay, let me consider, if this is the column element, if it hogs, like if it bends like this, we will call this as sagging. Okay, you make this yourself clear. See here, if this is the column that we had, if it bends like this, it will become sagging. If it bend like this, it will become hogging. Okay, this should be very clear for you. This is how you try to draw the bending moment diagram also. Now you keep here over here, and I will apply like this moment now. Okay, clockwise moment. I am applying clockwise moment over here, and at this point I have to apply again clockwise moment. Now see here how this column has been twisted. Okay, so earlier in both the cases, it was both the movements are creating a hogging kind of moment. Okay, but in this case it is reverse. Okay, it is completely different. Okay, here first you apply a clockwise movement over here, and you apply a clockwise movement over here, and it gets twisted like this. If it gets twisted like this, as you can see, at the upper portion it is hogging, and at the lower portion it is sagging, right? So that's why I have written here it as sagging, and I have written here it as hogging. So hogging is negative symbol, sagging is positive symbol. Now going to this side, okay, again the same trick, you take it as a column, take any flexible element to understand this. Okay, now you try to understand what kind of directions that are being applied here. So this is negative, okay, again this is also negative. Okay, you can see that I have to apply a negative moment and also a negative moment here. So negative moment. So this will create hogging and sagging picture, sagging and hogging picture. At the top it will be sagging, at the bottom it will be hogging. So at this top we have positive and at the bottom we have negative, right? So this is how you draw the bending moment diagram. Okay, I hope this is clear, but if you still find difficulty in any of the other problems that we have solved, you try to evaluate by yourself or you ask me that question. I'll try to draw the bending moment diagram and send it to you. Okay, this is the next problem that we are supposed to solve. This is having unequal legs. This column is having a length of 4 meter and this column is having a length of 3 meter. The beam is subjected to an UDL of 40 kilonewton load, and member AB is subjected to a 60 kilonewton load, concentrated load at the center. Okay, you try to solve this problem by yourself. Okay, in the next class anyway I'll solve it, but you try to solve it by yourself, then we'll try to discuss the problem. Thank you.